Hello everyone, you're watching HD Books. My name is Javier Dinza, and today I'm going over my Summer TBR. So this is a little bit late, but I wanted to get it out. And basically, I think I might have too many books here that I'm trying to get through by, say, September 21st. So I think that's actually one too many, but, well, more than one too many, but a few will just be hopefuls, basically, and an excitement really from fellow booktubers. So just finding out about what they're reading, what they're excited about, piling that onto my TBR, and then a mess from there. So, and a few recommendations from friends and things like that. Okay, anyways, without further ado, so really quickly here, I am continuing with Fall of Hyperion, so I'm about 2/3 of the way through it, and yeah, I am going to be stopping with this duology. I've heard a lot of mixed things when it comes to the Endymion books and the Hyperion series. So I'm going to wait till actually a friend of mine is going to go through them, and he's going to basically let me know, okay, is this something interesting or can you just skip it? I don't have these in order right now. I am going to have an order as I'm going to go through them, but right now I'm just kind of telling you all what I have in mind. So Dune. I don't have God Emperor with me right now. God Emperor is back there. So I am going to be going through all of the Dune series until God Emperor, so including that one. I've heard from uh, Media Death Cult, right? So I was watching his science fiction videos, and he's just so well read in science fiction. Absolutely great to listen to him. And he was saying how he really got Frank Herbert's entire vision after reading book four, God Emperor, and looking back on the whole series. So I want to get to that point and see just how ethereal or abstract this series does get, because already it's quite heavy, but I've been told how, especially Children of Dune, the third one, gets pretty insane. So I'm looking forward to that. Mistborn Secret History. So I finished up with Era 1 a little recently, and I put out that review. And I want to go through Secret History because of how many things it promises that might be answered or at least illuminated a little bit more. I mean, the first chapter I read, I didn't really read through it yet, but the first chapter, the first word I saw was Kelsier in his one of his confrontations, and I really need to read no more. I'm already making sure that I'm going to get into this. I had a lot of questions at the end of Era 1, and maybe there's some more that I haven't asked that I ought to have. And I'm sure that Brandon Sanderson thought of a lot of them because he does seem like that kind of guy, especially as I watch his booktube channel and so on. He does seem like he just plans everything well in advance, even if not everything is written on the page. He has probably thought about it, so I'm excited to get into that. Then we have Red Rising. So I only have one book here because it's a long series and I have the rest on my shelf. But anyways, this now 6 books once Lightbringer comes out. A lot of this has to do with Mike's book reviews, so I have watched him give his takes on different ones. Not his spoiler talks, but I've been just excited to see him go through them, and his tastes don't really always align with mine. Not at all, but I'm definitely curious as to what he has to say. One of the first booktubers that I started watching, so yeah, any opinion that he has, I want to look into it. And Red Rising, just the way he describes it, it seems like right up my alley, so I'm definitely going to try uh, finishing this, actually being caught up by the end of the summer, but we'll see how that goes. One Piece. So I'm caught up with the manga currently, and unfortunately, we have a long 5 week break, I believe, or now maybe 3 weeks, with Oda being gone. I think working on the live action, which I'm excited for. I want to see how that goes. They have a huge budget. The trailer looked pretty good, except for the last little bit. I thought it looked kind of wonky, and I hope that they get to a point where they can hook viewers, because if they stop at a certain point in the season, it's going to be a little bit harder, I think, to retain people, because the first little bit of One Piece I think is not that strong. It gets a lot stronger later on, and that's why I've kept up for so many chapters. I binged most of it, and then I am now caught up for about 2 years or so, continuously reading it. So I'm really glad my friends eventually made me get into it, even though a lot of people, including myself, were so reluctant to get into such a long thing at the beginning, just because you're thinking, oh, I could spend my time on something else. I could get through, 10 series at the same time I get through just One Piece. Now, in some respects, I can see that argument because Wheel of Time behind me on the top shelf, actually, that you can't see is cut out by the frame, but um, Wheel of Time has been hit or miss for me, and I kind of see myself maybe DNFing that at least for now. Whereas One Piece is also super long, like Wheel of Time, but it has just captured my interest and kept it. Berserk. So I'm actually wearing Berserk right now, a shirt that's pretty cool. But I have gotten up to the end of Omnibus 5, and I think there are 13. 13 is set to release later on this year, so I'm gonna be getting those, right? But I do have a ways to go, and I think the Sun, right, is continuing the series, and I hope all of that is going according to plan. So far, a great series. I mean, I'm probably gonna make a video about Berserk and all of these things maybe eventually. So that's why I'm not really talking about them in detail here. But yeah, suffice to say that Berserk, especially from character standpoint, is very enjoyable, very dark, but very enjoyable. Whereas the plotting and stuff is cool, but the characters really stand out for me. One more addition of sci-fi here before I get to the big fantasy journey that I'm going on, which is why there hasn't been a lot of fantasy as of yet on this TBR. So, finishing up with Remembrance of Earth's Past trilogy. So, I've read Three Body Problem. I've put that review out. Fantastic book. And I'm going to be doing that physics deep dive eventually. I promise to get there. I have wanted to, really cite all my sources so that people can look into things if they want to, if they're interested in those concepts. So it's taken me a little while to find the time to get into that. I've just heard so many mind-bending, earth-shattering ideas being put forward in these two books. I have not the specifics, but I have heard from Bookborn, from the Fantasy Network, a lot of great things, and they're actually the two channels aside from my own interests that really pulled me into getting this trilogy. You might have been asking, why is there such a huge absence of fantasy here? Because I am a science fiction fantasy channel, not just a science fiction channel. Although I do maybe lean towards science fiction most of the time, I do want to read a lot of fantasy because I aim to maybe write some fantasy one day and get it published. So, I've been saying, where is all the fantasy? And this is your answer. So, the Stormlight Archive, I've never read this, and I've heard how this is Brandon Sanderson's greatest work. And, I mean, I've read Mistborn Era 1, it had its high points, had its low points. It's solid, but I'm excited to read the best that Brandon Sanderson has to offer. These are huge books. Probably going to take me a while just to get through one of them with everything going on at the moment in my life. But I have no doubt I think that I will enjoy them. I've heard so many good things about them. Nobody really has anything bad to say about them. And I've heard how Rhythm of War from Bookborn is more of a science heavy magic system sort of a preachy kind of way book, and that's not a bad thing for me. I mean, I think that can come across a little bit weird, and maybe it will, but on its face that idea still sounds pretty cool to me, and I just want to be caught up at least. If nothing else works, if the summer is just too optimistic, if even the year is too optimistic, I just want to be caught up before book 5 comes out. So I just want to be part of the community, and I just think that I'll really enjoy it. Now, I asked myself this question before and I had a difficult time coming up with the answer, but now I think I'm sure. What am I most hyped about to get through? It would be Stormlight. I have huge expectations for Stormlight. Maybe that isn't a good thing, but I hope it can live up to them, maybe even exceed them. And everything else on my TBR here, none of it is something that is not probably critically acclaimed, but Stormlight has just been so long coming that I haven't gotten to yet. I wanted to read through Mistborn first and just see, oh, what is Brand Sanderson about? And now I've got some sort of a flavor. I've read Elantris and Warbreaker as well. And yeah, can't wait to get into this monolith of a series. That is my summer TBR. Very hopeful, I think, but I hope to get through as much as I can. And I'm going to be continuously making reviews. Hopefully, some other interesting videos, maybe not reviews, but something else. Maybe something different, you know. I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Harvey Ardinsa, and you're watching HD Books. I'll see you next time.